Hello everybody, and welcome to the 2023 MIFF X LANC League Fantasy Football Accolade Award Show presented by Gatorade. I'm your host for the night, Eric Zimmerman, and I am pleased to announce these 14 awards that we have for all of the team managers of the MIFF X LANC League. And I'm going to keep this rolling pretty quickly because I know you guys have a lot to do these days and we're all busy. So I'm going to try and keep it to less than a minute per award so it's not a super long video. But with that said, let's get started. Our first award is being given out to two different teams, and it's fitting that it be called the Newcomer Award. This is the second year of the MIFF X LANC League, and these two teams, they were lovely to have this year. It was their first year. And we're definitely hoping that they come back again next year and join us again. We were a 8-team league in year one and a 10-team league in this year. And hopefully we'll have even more next year. So congratulations to the two newcomers, Team Fields of Dreams and Team Showmaker. Let's give them a round of applause. Moving on to our next award. This award kind of signifies who was the most involved or active, rather, in the league throughout the entirety of the year. This award is going to the team with the most roster moves on the season. And the team that wins this award had 37 total moves through the 14 regular season weeks. Congratulations to Team Scott. The next award is not necessarily an award that you would want to have under your repertoire. This next award is the Close Call Award. And this award is being given to the team that had the most losses by less than 10 points. Now, this award is being given rightfully to this team as they were one of the top teams in the league, but just didn't have a chance to really shine because of this award. But the Close Call Award for the season goes to Team Showmaker. She was actually in the top half of the league in scoring, but she had 4 losses this season by less than 10 points. Those weeks being week 3, 6, 10, and 14. So that award is really to say, you had a great team, but you just had an unfortunate schedule and season, and we hope you come back next year. Our next award is going to the team that had the hardest schedule for the season, meaning they had the most points scored against them during the 14 regular season weeks. Let's put our hands together for Kings Kuderik. And if I'm not mistaken, he was fairly close to having the hardest schedule last year as well. Hopefully next year things turn around for him. Next up, the flip of the last award. This award is being given to the team with the easiest schedule, the easiest schedule award. And this team did make the playoffs and partially, well, they were a fairly consistent team, but they did have help with a little bit of an easier schedule. And that team was Team Kimbo Slice. Team Kimbo Slice had 1,509.58 points scored against them through 14 weeks, which is an average of only 107.83 points per week. Now, this next award is a very good award to have for an entire season. This is the Unsung Hero Award. And this award is being given to the team that had the most kicker plus defense points for the entirety of the regular season. And this award is going to Team Kayla Z. Congratulations. Team Kayla Z had 270 points combined on the season between her kicker and defense, which is an average of 19.29 points per week, which is very impressive. Our next award is going to the team that finished the regular season with the best record, who will be our beloved number 1 seed in the playoffs this year. This award is going to none other than Team Scott, the powerhouse in the league. He finished at 10-4, ending on a 3-week win streak. He definitely came alive, especially in the second half of the season. So congratulations to Team Scott. Our next award is another one of those awards where you don't necessarily you're not sure if this is a good or a bad award to have. I mean, it's not necessarily bad, but it can mean either one of two things, and I'll explain in a second. This award is the most bench points award, and it can either mean you have either a very deep roster or you aren't necessarily picking the right matchups for your players. But in the case of this team, I believe it is more so they had a nice deep roster. And this award will go to Team Showvaker. Team Showvaker had 1,028.28 points on her bench throughout the course of the first 14 weeks of the regular season, which is an average of 77.45 bench points per week. Now, when you have that many bench points, it definitely says that you have a very, very deep roster. So, congratulations to Team Showvaker. Next up on our award show is the award for most consistent team. This is the team that had more of their weeks close to their average for the entirety of the season. So in any given week almost, you could say this team is going to perform right around their average very consistently, so they won't have that many low weeks, which is a very important aspect to have on your team. And this award is going to a playoff team. So you can tell how important it is to be consistent in fantasy football. And this award is going to Team Kimbo Slice, our 2 seed in the playoffs. She had a standard deviation of only 17.54 points per week. So I believe she was averaging around 115 points a week. So she was usually within 100 to 130 or 35 points per week, which is very, very good. Next up, this is an award that no one is surprised by. This is the Points Champion Award. And this team truly went wire to wire as the points champion. Unfortunately, they were not able to make playoffs after a ridiculously crazy final 3 weeks where they averaged, I believe, over 130 points all 3 weeks, and unfortunately could not manage to get one last win to secure a playoff spot. But with that being said, the points champion for 2023, congratulations to Team Connor. Team Connor had 1,943.68 points through the regular season 14 weeks, which is an average of 138.83 points per week. That's almost 20 points more than the league-wide average, which is insane. And it's a shame that this team won't have a chance to make a playoff run this year. But hopefully next year will be a better year. We have 3 awards left, and we have 2 awards to teams that were not able to pick up any Accolade awards, but we're still very thankful that they were in the league. And they certainly had great seasons, don't get me wrong, but they just didn't manage to capture any of the Accolade awards this season. So we have 2 participation awards going to Team Not Last Pick and Team Strasburg Predators. These 2 teams really make the league fun, and Team Not Last Pick is actually a playoff team. They managed to slip in right in the final week as the 4 seed, and the Strasburg Predators were looking really promising early in the season, and they certainly made the season a lot more fun than if we wouldn't have had them. So thank you to you guys. Now, our final award is maybe the most statistically intense award. It is the Best Draft Award. Now, obviously, the draft is a very important part of having a successful fantasy football year, but there are certainly other factors that contribute to a team having success. But the draft is probably the most important aspect to having success in fantasy football. So it's important to know how to draft well. Now, how this award was figured out was we looked at every draft pick from every team, and everyone's original team after the draft, their top players were put into a makeshift lineup: 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, flex player, defense, and kicker, all from the players that they had originally at the end of the draft. And all those players' points throughout the course of the season were tallied up, and the team that had the most points with their original draft team was Team Scott, our number 1 seed. He drafted an incredible team. He just narrowly had a better draft than Team Connor, who was our points champion. The original lineup that Team Scott had after the draft, listen to this: quarterback, Jalen Hurts; running back, Christian McCaffrey; running back 2, Raheem Mostert; wide receiver, DJ Moore; wide receiver 2, Deebo Samuel; tight end, Dalton Schultz; flex, Pacheco; the Bills defense, and Gano as kicker. So with this lineup, after the draft, without making any roster moves, this lineup scored 1,698.98 points, which is an average of 121.36 points throughout the entirety of the first 14 weeks of the regular season. So if he had set his lineup after the draft with those players that he selected, he would have averaged a higher point total than the entire league combined, which is extremely impressive and very crucial to having a great season. So congratulations to our last Accolade Award winner, Team Scott. I want to thank you all for participating in this year's Fantasy Football League, and we're looking forward to crowning a champion. This is an unfinished trophy. We will have all of the name of the league, the statistics, team name, everything on here ready to crown the champion here in a month. So thank you all for tuning in. Once again, thank you to Gatorade for sponsoring, and I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you on the field.